Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on Avenue 24 edition October 12, 2025. Cameroonians will go to the polls to elect the new president. Africa 24 has been on the ground of Paul to bring a daily coverage of the issues at stake in base electoral campaign to its campaign demo. In March 3rd, the CPDM mobilized voters to secure victory for its candidates. Speaking to a large crowd, Balaza-Algali called for support for President Paul Biya, placing his record from the step aside of the votes button on October 12. Serge Espoir was on the ball.
The Cameroon People's Democratic Movement mobilized voters in Balaza-Algali in the Mara 3rd District, Diamare Department Far North Region for the presidential election of 12 October 2025. Hundreds, even thousands, came from all corners of the locality to respond to the call of the CPDM's Municipal Campaign Committee.
The
people of Diamare, the people of Mara 3, are aware of the benefits brought by the President of the Republic. They know that he is someone they can count on. They also know that the head of state is consistent and coherent in his vision for the development of our country. He is doing this in a gradual and methodical manner. The people of Mara 3, the people of Diamare, are also aware that with the head of state, we will achieve greatness and hope. Amongst the highlights of this mobilization was the speech by Boubacar-Liki, Director General of the Mission of the Promotion of Local Materials and a local leader. In his speech, he reaffirmed the support of the local population for President Paul Biya, whom he described as a patient, level-headed and experienced leader. You have seen yourself, we have been promised 115% for the head of state if possible, but unfortunately, at this point, as this is not possible, we all at least have 100%. According to him, the head of state's achievements in the region are visible: schools and university infrastructure, road networks, drinking water supply, health infrastructure, not to mention the gradual return of peace and security in the far north region. The people of Diamare are aware that the peddlers of illusions, the magicians and those who spread misinformations, you can see that there is infrastructure. Well, they tell you that there are no roads in the far north, that there is no this or that in the far north. We are not in Mara. You have seen for yourself, and there is infrastructure here. In Balaza-Algali, local CPDM officials promise a massive, even unanimous vote in favor of President Paul Biya, who is presented as the best choice to lead Cameroon into a new 7-year term.
With the presidential election of 12 October 2025 approaching, Serge Espoir Matomba for the United People's Social Renewal Party is returning to the political scene with renewed ambition. He is posed by the Pan-African and the sovereignist leader he tends to embody Odinian Greg, with the established order backed by comprehensive program and the reinforced grassroots strategy following double parties.
At 45, Serge Espoir Matomba, leader of the Unified Party for Social Renewal, is running for the Cameroonian presidency for the second time. Determined to break with the system he considers outdated, he is presenting an ambitious political project combining sovereignty and nationalism ahead of the election scheduled for October 12, 2025. In the first 3 months, we will focus on providing birth certificates and national identity cards to all Cameroonians who do not have them for reasons of national security. An entrepreneur from a modest background, Serge Espoir Matomba co-founded the Purse Party in 2010. A municipal councillor in Douala 4 since 2013, he ran for president for the first time in 2018, obtaining 0.56% of the vote. 5 years later, he is back with a more refined strategy, a 170-page program, and a vision of radical transformation for Cameroon.
Nous mettrons sur pied une raffinerie d'or.
We will set up a gold refinery because Cameroon is a gold producer. We must leave the franc CFA. The CFA franc is a currency that does not help Cameroon and other African countries. Cameroon must be able to have its own currency.
Le Cameroun doit pouvoir se doter de sa propre monnaie.
Aware of the criticism of his poor showing in 2018, Matomba intends to show that he has learned from the past. For his election, he is putting in place a stronger organization with 90,000 scrutineers to ensure the transparency of the vote.
Cameroon has just taken a decisive step forward of the development of the mining sector with the launch of the mini Martap Embers for Bauxite mining project in the Adamawa region led by Kamal SD. This project promises to be one of the big ambitious ever taken in the country, Joseph Ottoli.
The Mini-Marta bauxite deposit is estimated at nearly 1 billion tons, with approximately 200 million tons of bauxite to be mined over 20 years, yielding an annual production of 10 million tons. The plant's investment is around $2 billion. The so-called poor part of the deposit, estimated at 640 million tons, will be processed to produce 216 million tons of alumina, or 4 million tons per year, generating an annual value of nearly $2 billion.
Les travaux d'exploitation menés ont permis de mettre en évidence des réserves évaluées à près de 4
Mining operations have revealed reserves estimated at nearly 99 million tons of bauxite, with a content of 51 degrees of aluminium and 2.4 degrees of silica. Simulations have shown that these reserves could be mined industrially at a rate of approximately 5 million tons of bauxite per year over a period of 20
avec
years.
une cadence de production d'environ 5 millions de tonnes de bauxite par an sur une période de 20 ans.
For the state, the expected benefits are considerable: 12% of turnover, plus taxes, dividends, and other tax revenues. At the same time, modern infrastructure, roads, railways, and port terminals will strengthen the project and stimulate the national economy.
Les codes miniers a élaboré le contenu local. Il y a les infrastructures.
The mining codes have developed local content, there is infrastructure, it is just on the construction phase, an ultra-modern hospital. Why in Matap? Because that is where we are starting the project, meaning we have these things in the future. But today we are starting with Matap. It is a modern school, an ultra-modern hospital, but in Minim, we have this ultra-modern market that can be called a shopping mall for the region.
Un shopping mall au niveau de la région.
Camarco is also committed to social issues. The construction of a referral hospital and a modern school in Martap, as well as a modern market in Minin, have already been announced. Other initiatives in the areas of health, education, and community development will complement these actions.
Camelco is committed to launching social development projects in health, education, cultural empowerment, and income-generating activities, ensuring that this project truly serves the community.
The project is expected to generate approximately 5,000 direct jobs and 20,000 indirect jobs. Training students at the School of Geology and Mining at the University of Ngaoundéré will help develop a skilled local workforce, ensuring a sustainable transfer of skills in the sector. The first shipment of bauxite is expected in the first quarter of 2026. Ultimately, Mini-Martap will position Cameroon as a key player in the global bauxite aluminium value chain, in line with the objective of the 2020-2030 National Development Strategy.
With the presidential elections approaching, the Cameroonian government has paid out the first installment of public funding to the parties running in the Greece. In Yaoundé, several party treasurers, sometimes accompanied by the candidates, collected the allocated funds. Why this aid is intended to ensure a minimum level of fairness between competition, the amount each party has proposed to it. Naira Failan
In Yaoundé, the political capital of Cameroon, on September 29, 2025, the Cameroonian government made the first installment of public funding to political parties involved in the election campaign for the 12 October 2025 elections. To this end, many political party treasurers, some accompanied by the candidates, went to collect their campaign funds. For what we plan to do, deploying ourselves on the ground is really ridiculous. We must limit the circulation of cash in this kind of thing. The Ministry of Territorial Administration, which is responsible for managing public funds allocated to political parties, has confirmed that disbursements began on September 29th, although the exact amount has not been disclosed. Sources close to the matter suggest that each candidate will receive around 15 million francs CFA. The first installment of this funding is distributed equally amongst the 12 candidates, while a second installment paid after the election is calculated according to the results obtained. The first installment is egalitarian. What they receive is what I also receive. It will help us. That public campaign financing aims to limit abuses linked to hidden financing and to ensure a certain degree of fairness between candidates, although several observers are calling for a reform of the financing mechanism to ensure greater transparency in allocation and traceability of funds.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now broadcast in Southeast edition of your campaign journal on our which brings to you coverage of the 2025 presidential elections in Cameroon throughout a campaign diary. Stay tuned for more information in Africa on Africa 2024.